All right, great to see you. Great to be back. Well, of course, I can't see you. I'd like to welcome my friend. This is my favorite painting and painter, done by Patrick Kelly, great Texas folk artist. Obviously, it's the painting. The painting's not my friend, but actually it is. You know, it hangs in my living room. I like a lot of pieces of art that I've collected. This guy has partaken in a lot of our family history, good times, bad times. And I don't know, I'm not a big Indian art person. I'm not a big fan of Kokopelli and all of these kind of Southwestern art and artists. But Patrick's a great guy. He also draws and paints beautiful birds. And anyways, he gave me this picture about 5 years ago, and my living room and our family's life wouldn't be the same without it. I love watching him, watch us, watch him. So anyway, kind of in the vein of introspection here, so I wanted to talk a little bit about who you are, who I am, and being yourself, and what I think that does for people, and I can only relate it to me. I've witnessed a lot of people, and myself included, throughout life, working really hard to be somebody that they're not, and this is many times not even a conscious decision. You take a job. The characteristics of your office or your company start to rub off on you, and sometimes they are very good things. This isn't necessarily a negative all the time, but I think people become lost in who they think they should be and not necessarily who they are. So, you know, my few vlogs and all the people I listen to and read and blogs that I listen to quite a bit. A lot of them just have a lot to do with trying to become a better person, trying to become a better father, or trying to become a happier person, although the happy is a loaded, a more content person. And so one of the things that I think, and I don't care if you're religious, I don't care if you're secular. You know, my grandfather was a minister, and he definitely had ideas about how you should be and who you should be and people you should strive to be like. I grew up in a very religious family. But through my life, I found that at many points in my life, I really wanted to be anybody but myself. And it wasn't because I didn't like myself. I just thought there were a lot cooler versions based on activities or people that I was hanging out with at the time. And so I look back at so many different things that I've done, from mountaineering to skateboarding and surfing, to work and college, and being a college lab instructor, and just all of these kind of points along the way in my life, even as an entrepreneur, as a minority partner in companies, being surrounded by other folks who I either looked up to, who acted as my mentors. I always thought, well, look, I'm going to borrow as much as I can from what I'm viewing and what I see and how they act and how they do their business and how they conduct themselves, because obviously it's working for them. But I think somewhere along the way, and I, again, could only look at myself for this, I think you get lost in it. And it's only been within the last few years, really the last 36 months, 48 months, that I've kind of taken a step back and realized, wait a second, I don't even like doing that, or I don't even like some of those people. And it's something that I don't like the way I'm acting. Those are things that unfortunately don't just hit you upside the head. Unfortunately, people don't come and tell you. But they're things that you have to kind of start to find out for yourself. So that can be the way you dress, the way you think, where you eat, where you don't eat. But I really do think that that saying, you're the sum of your 5 closest friends, I really think that is true, and so I've found in life that if you're not being yourself, in the end, you're not going to be happy. And so by being myself, that may mean that I walk and talk a different way than I normally would. I'm not going to get involved in a chit-chat conversation that I'm not interested in just to be heard. I'll sit and listen. I'm not going to speak up at a meeting where I don't have much to say just to be noticed. I don't need to run the meeting. In fact, as a very good mentor of mine taught me about a decade ago, many times it's the person who says the least that learns the most. That was always a big problem for me. I was too busy sharing with people what I knew until the age of about 33 or 34, when my mentor kind of kicked me under a table one time and said, "Shut the fuck up, Andy. Let these people talk." That was a little bit embarrassing. So I'm not going to make this a long one, but as you sit and think about who you are, where you've come from, and where you want to go, think about who you really are. Are you somebody that enjoys the tasks and the things that you do on a daily basis? Some things you can't get out of. I'm a father. I have a family of 3 boys. Fatherhood has not always been my favorite thing. A lot of it has been very hard. And a lot of it has been very hard because you have to be unselfish. You have to consider others before yourself. You have to do things that you don't particularly want to do at a given moment in time. And those things are what's required of you as a father. So some things you can't change, or you shouldn't change. But many of the things that you face in your daily life, the person who you want to be, you can be. Whether that's grow a beard, let your hair grow out a little bit, wear jeans on a day that most people are wearing slacks, wear shorts on a day in the summer, or as one of my business partners does, he wears flip-flops and shorts every day. Not my cup of tea, but he pulls it off. And I don't think he even thinks of it in those terms. It's what he wants to wear, and that doesn't give a crap. Anyways, that's my 3 or 4 minutes on being yourself. And it's a lot harder to do than just talk about, than I've talked about right here. And I challenge you to pick a few things in your daily walk that you're doing for others that you really don't want to do, and be true to yourself, and take one a week and peel it off your list. That's all I have from me and my Indian friend. Over.